Hey everyone, Kurt at FullOnDrums.com here today, and we're going to go over how to tune rack toms. The one I have with me today here, it's a Pearl Session series, it's a 12, and we're going to kind of go for a rock sound out of this. So it's just going to be added to a one-up, one-down kit setup. The head I've got that I've chosen for today is an Evans G2. It's a 2-ply, it's a coated head. It's got a lot of attack, a lot of warmth, but it doesn't ring out as long as a 1-ply head does. Now, one of the things to think about when you're thinking about tuning up your drum kit, especially your toms, is to think about, well, you know, what kind of sound do I want the toms to make? One of the easiest ways to go about choosing the drum head for the sound you want is have a sound in your mind, whether it's high and ringy or low and rumbly, whatever the case may be. Go through the heads that match the drum that you're tuning. Just pick them up and tap them. If I just pick this up and I tap it here, I get a starting note that the drum head makes all on its own. And even if you pick up different drum heads, you'll see that some ring longer than others. So if you need a ringy drum, select the ringy drum head that you picked up. If you need a drum that's going to be a little bit more flat, pick up the one that doesn't have as much sustain. So let's get started. We're going to go ahead and just put the top head on here. I've already got the bottom on, and it's finger tight. Take this, put the mounting system and the hoop on. And now all I'm going to do is grab each tension rod and just screw it down finger tight. And the whole point of going finger tight is to have the drum start out with even tension on all the tension rods and all the lugs. The whole objective is to pull the hoop down evenly. You don't bend it or warp it or get low spots or high tension spots on the drum head. One of the things to look for when you're doing this, and you'll notice it especially if you're screwing things down with your fingers, is make sure that the lugs and both the tension rods are lubricated. What that helps with is two things actually. It makes them spin down easier. Plus, when there's a little bit of grease in here, the vibrations that go in when you play, it helps prevent the threads from backing out. It just helps things seat a little bit tighter. So I've gone through, everything's finger tight. I'm going to hit this drum once just so you can hear what it even sounds like with just finger tension both top and bottom. It's not going to be too pretty, but it'll give you an idea of what we're dealing with. So what I do with a lot of my rack toms is I'm going to use a method today where I tune the top head first. I'm going to get a starting note, one that I like, and then I'm going to bring the bottom head in to either A, add resonance to it and cause the note to sustain longer, or to just kind of control the tone. Kind of keep it where it's at and not add a lot of duration to it. So, pick any lug, and I'm just going to do kind of just one turn here. See where it gets me. Cross-tuning method. So going from each lug to the next one that's furthest away, just like you're bolting down the rim on a car. It doesn't take much. As you can see there already, this has already come up quite a bit. So now what I want to see is, what did I end up with? What's kind of the tone I've got? That doesn't sound too pretty, does it? But we're going to leave it, and we're going to go after the bottom head and put just a little bit on and see what we end up with. Once again, cross-tuning method. Trying to pull that head down evenly. And I tend to run my bottom heads just a little bit tighter than my tops. That's not a rule. You don't have to do that. It's just a choice. And you'll figure that out with experimentation, which works best for you. Not a bad note. Grabbing the mounting system to make sure I don't have any hums or rattles that I'm mistaking the head for causing when in fact it's just loose hardware. And I'm actually going to try and go a little bit lower than that. I'm going to keep the bottom head where it's at because I like the sustain, and we're just going to drop the top head just a little bit. Now, one of the things that I don't mind doing with my drums is if I go to loosen up some of the lugs or the tension rods, I don't always loosen all of them. So in this case here, this is a 6-lug drum. I'm just going to loosen the upper and lower two. So the side ones are going to keep the same tension on them that I had before. I'm just going to drop this here. Let's see where that gets us. Nice, fat, low note. Exactly what I was going for. Good sustain as well. So as you can see, if I'd gone and dropped these, I would have gone past the note I was searching for. And I would have just kept having to try and chase it. And, oh, let me get it right. And, oh, let me get it right. The thing is, when it comes to tuning heads, don't be afraid to experiment. If you find that you're close but you're not getting in the range you want, one of the things I like to do is actually overshoot the note and then drop down into where it sounds comfortable. Some people will tell you that you always need to end on a tightening stroke. I found that it depends on the manufacturer and it depends on the tension rods. In some cases, you'll find that if you don't, they loosen up on you. Other companies, you'll find that it makes no difference at all. It depends on you, it depends on your drum. Have fun experimenting with it. And thank you so much for watching. This is Kurt at FullOnDrums.com saying I'll see you next time.